Ling. He is the main character of the daily life of the immortal king, a Chinese cultivation anime based on a web novel. From birth, he possesses overwhelming spiritual power that normally takes lifetimes to achieve. While most cultivation stories focus on gradual growth, Ling starts at the peak and constantly suppresses his strength just to live a normal student life. His abilities include reality manipulation, soul control, space and time distortion, and effortless erasure of threats. What makes him different is that his power does not feel earned through struggle. It feels absolute and effortless. In a genre where characters train for decades, Ling treats cosmic threats like minor inconveniences, which places him at the very top of raw power among main characters. Ano's Voldigoad. He comes from the misfit of Demon King Academy and is introduced as the reincarnation of the most powerful demon king in history. Unlike typical fantasy protagonists who rediscover their strength slowly, Ano's regains his former power almost immediately. He can resurrect himself after being erased, rewrite magical laws, and destroy entire worlds with minimal effort. His calm personality contrasts with the scale of his abilities. Even when facing beings who manipulate time or attempt conceptual attacks, he simply overpowers them. The series frames him as someone who stands above logic itself, and that consistency is why he ranks near the top among overpowered protagonists. Madoka Kaname. She is the central figure of Pula Magi Madoka Magica, a series that begins as a magical girl story, but shifts into something far more cosmic. At first, Madoka is an ordinary middle school girl offered a contract to gain magical powers. By the end of the series, she transcends reality and becomes a conceptual existence known as the Law of Cycles. Instead of fighting physically, she rewrites the structure of the universe to prevent magical girls from falling into despair. Her power is not destructive in a traditional sense. It is universal and abstract. She exists across timelines simultaneously, altering fate itself. That transformation makes her one of the most powerful protagonists in anime history. Rimuru Tempest. He is the main character of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Originally an ordinary human, he is reborn in a fantasy world as a slime with a unique skill called Predator, which allows him to absorb and analyze abilities. Over time, he evolves into a demon lord and later into an even higher existence. Rimuru gains control over space, time, souls, and multiple ultimate skills that function almost like independent divine authorities. What makes Rimuru stand out is progression. His power grows logically through the system of the world, yet eventually reaches a point where he can create or destroy universes. He represents the modern isekai power fantasy taken to its highest extreme. Usagi Tsukino. She is better known as Sailor Moon from the Sailor Moon franchise. At first glance, she appears to be a typical magical girl fighting evil forces with her friends. However, her true power as Sailor Moon and later Eternal Sailor Moon extends far beyond planetary battles. She carries the Silver Crystal, an artifact capable of restoring or erasing entire universes. Across different arcs and timelines, she defeats cosmic entities that threaten all of existence. Unlike characters who rely purely on force, her strength is tied to hope, rebirth, and purification. In the 1990s, Sailor Moon helped redefine what a magical girl protagonist could be, proving that emotional resolve and cosmic power could exist together. Simon the Digger. He is the protagonist of Tenjin Toppa Gurren Lagann. Simon begins as a timid boy digging tunnels underground in a post-apocalyptic world. As the story progresses, his spiral power evolves beyond imagination. By the final arc, he pilots a mech so massive it dwarfs galaxies, throwing attacks that operate on a multiversal scale. Spiral power in this series represents evolution and the refusal to accept limits. Simon's growth is symbolic as well as literal. His strength increases in response to his will. By the end, he faces beings who manipulate probability and reality itself, and he overcomes them through sheer determination amplified into cosmic force. Goku. He is the central character of Dragon Ball, created by Akira Toriyama. Starting as a martial artist with superhuman strength, Goku continuously trains to surpass his limits. Over decades of storytelling, He achieves transformations such as Super Saiyan Blue, and Ultra Instinct. In Dragon Ball Super, he battles gods of destruction and participates in tournaments that put entire universes at risk. Unlike some characters on this list who begin as supreme beings, Goku's power comes from constant improvement and love of battle. His influence on anime culture is unmatched. Even if others surpass him in raw scaling, Goku remains the benchmark for measuring strength in shonen anime.